could you share this, how this has been taking place in each of your worlds? And what's the reason that's driving this? Is this a good thing? And what kind of challenges you are seeing? Maybe all three of you can take this question, starting with Lenora.
Yeah, actually, I think that makes sense because probably I come at it from sort of really big picture, big G governance. Has anyone ever encountered somebody who's a corporate governance specialist? Right. So, not to be an investments geek or anything, but there's something really amazing going on in the world of governance and corporate governance right now. Partially driven by activist investors, partially driven by this surge in shareholder activity around sustainability and other topics. But corporate governance used to be populated by sort of they were like the accountants of the investments world. There were, people who would sit in these little rooms away from the investment teams and vote proxies, and the PMs would never want the corporate governance people to actually talk to management, so they would just sort of, sit there and tick off their votes. Something absolutely revolutionary is happening in corporate governance right now, and that is that with the influx of shareholder actions that relate to a much broader range of issues, it's no longer just, should we keep that director, or should we vote on the pay package of the CEO? No, now actually corporate governance professionals have to vote on things like, why don't you have a sustainability report? And we need to know how you are pricing carbon for the next 5 years. So corporate governance specialists have a much bigger job than they used to have. And it's been a real challenge. And Bloomberg has been developing a whole set of tools and data that is meant to address some of these big picture questions about governance. Because ultimately, and I think Chris actually put this very, very well, you are not, when you invest in any company, I don't care if it's a REIT or a utility or an oil company, you are not only investing in the assets. You're not investing in oil wells if you invest in Exxon. You're not investing in utility plants if you're investing in Duke. Not investing in buildings if you're investing in a REIT. You're investing in the management team. You're investing in management quality. You're investing in management's capacity to articulate and execute a strategy, to manage competition, to deal with risks and opportunities in their environment. And that is really what governance is becoming. And sustainability is becoming a huge part of that. What our tools do is look at information like the independence of the board, diversity of the board, how many years board members have been sitting on the board. Is it a staggered board? How does the nominating and audit and compensation committee work? Are executives being compensated partially for their sustainability performance? So, these are very big picture tools, and we're also aiming to make those tools real-time tools. So they are much less, to Chris's point, they're much less about management's capacity to manage the assets and to derive value and create value for shareholders. They are, to a certain extent, they're sort of, they're red flags. They're issues that should shape but don't always shape, appropriate governance at a company. So that's one of the things that we're working on. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so it's just like